All right, perfect. So I started the recording. We need to start every presentation with a slide like this because otherwise I
That's
will
what I'm
not
thinking.
remember.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that's the best idea. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start with some updates. So maybe I can let either Bradley or Brian take over and talk about the Western New York Bloodlinks, and then we'll do some updates before we get into the prep overview.
Okay, yeah, I will gladly start. I know we met the other day and there was updates to be made on the sheet, just some verbiage. Katie was helping us today and then she had to step away for something. So what we talked about the other day isn't reflective yet, but it will be later today or so I'll send it back out. But we'll go over that in a second. I just wanted to review with everyone who may not be aware, just the blood link and why we're doing it. So we have a blood link is basically like you make your appointment through this blood link and then your name and email goes into like a database, like a spreadsheet that shows that you're supporting this. And this we use for isolated blood drives, like a memorial drive for people that want to participate but live in another area. Say you're having a memorial blood drive in New York and someone in California wants to donate, they would just make their appointment through the link just to capture them and then be directed to make their appointment wherever they are. So they're still donating blood, just not necessarily on that day or that time. So we decided to make a blood link for our LGBTQ plus community, our initiative for Rochester, Buffalo, and Binghamton. So the purpose is to drive donors to the blood drives, to the fixed sites. We did talk about mobile, but if we're after speaking with my colleagues and Carrie, we're gonna just hold off on the mobiles for now. The sheet that I'm going to show you. So this is going to be presented at the fixed site, and the donors can make their next appointment through the blood link to make their appointments there, or if they already have donated, there is a way for them to add their name to the blood link to show that to show their support. So we have QR codes for each district: Rochester, Buffalo, and Binghamton. They'll be put out at the fixed site. Bradley will be managing them. Just kind of keep an eye on them. You get a daily update, and then perhaps we can get a monthly or biweekly update to see our progress. So let me share my screen and I'll show you the sheet that we made. All right. Okay. So this is the one we went over Wednesday. These two boxes are going to get flip-flopped, and then in this top box, it's going to say choose your, sorry, this box right here is going to go, they're going to flip-flop. It's going to be above these three, and it's going to say choose your Western New York community to represent. This box is going to be up here, and where it says show your pride, it's going to say support the Western New York community with your donation. So if they can either the next appointment or the appointment they have, they can go in and put their name, but it's showing support with their donation. So to make this fun here and to get everyone acclimated, if you guys want to take out your phone and scan a district, and then we can walk you through how this works, in real time. So for example, if I click on Rochester, you want to take it from here, Bradley? Does that make
Sure.
sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. So I will share my screen, and your screen should come up with this form. I scanned the Rochester one. But from this point, the yourself or the donor would put their name, their last name, email, and their zip code. And all this does is it gets them attached to the blood link or to the initiative we're doing. So this would be the Western New York Pride group. So this would not get you to schedule. They only need to do it once. So they scan it, they fill it out, and they maybe didn't want to schedule it afterwards. They can come back and just reschedule. They can schedule it that way. Once you do get it and you submit, it will automatically take you to the next screen to schedule. And this is where you can kind of pick wherever you're sitting. It could be like in the country as far as California, or if you're here in New York. But this is where that finalizing the appointment would be. But the first step would be the form. So.
And so, yeah, if these are presented right now at the fixed sites, and they're down in Binghamton and what's it, Johnson City, right?
Mhm.
That zip code that they put in, if that's where they are, it'll show the blood drives in that area. And obviously the fixed sites will always pop up on the scheduling portal here. And then they will make their appointment, and then Bradley will get a notification daily on the updates for all three of these blood links to show the progress. So it's trackable. You get updates daily.
Yeah. Even if they do scan it at the site and they're like, oh gosh, I don't have time, as long as they do fill it out and get attached, they can go in and create it. I would say, was it like 3 days later, Brian? 2?
I want to say 10
Or is it
actually.
more? Okay, I was thinking it might be even longer than that. But they
Yeah.
do have some time as long as they do schedule it afterwards. So as long as they just fill out the form first. So
What are the sorry. Do we have
Oh.
anybody have any questions, or did you have more, Bradley? Sorry.
that was what I was gonna ask.
Oh.
I just had a thought. So in addition to putting this out at the fixed sites, it would also be cool if folks could like share the flyer like on social media or whatever. Could I think maybe if I was to like post it on Facebook or something, probably the best thing to do instead of QR codes would be to have like links. Could we make like a second version with links that people, I don't know. I don't know if a QR code would still be easiest, but I don't know if there'd be a second version where instead of the QR codes, you could put like a link that somebody could click if they're sharing it like online.
Sure. Let me just think. So if I make if I just turn, if it's a PDF, is there a way, where would we put the link?
I think we can ask Katie to replace it with the link, Brian. I think that should be pretty easy. If it's on the social media, I think the QR might actually be easier, or unless you want
Okay.
to put the links in like the post, you could do it that way as well.
Yeah, that's true. Because you're right. The QR code is probably still easier because if you like turn it into a PDF, the links aren't clickable anymore.
Well, I'm just
So-
thinking like if I'm scrolling on Facebook and I see that you posted it and then I see a QR code, how do you scan the QR code if you're already on your phone?
Yeah, that's true.
There's a,
So
so my son taught me how to do that. You have to like long hold the QR code.
Oh,
So there is a way to
What?
do that. Yeah, I'm trying to do it
oh,
because I took a
thank
picture.
God for kids, I tell you.
Right? 'Cause I was complaining about it and he's like, you can click on it and just get the link. And I'm like, no, you can't. And he was like, watch me. So there is a way that you can just click on the QR code and it'll take you to the link.
Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of this. So I'm gonna have a picture of my phone.
maybe you could when you if you could, Brian, like when the poster is finished, if we could try to finish it today so that when I send out like the follow-up email, I can include it. And then I can also just include the links. And then like, for example, if I wanted to share like donate to support Buffalo, I could just throw the link in the social media post in addition to the
OMG.
poster.
I just took a picture of this, and then I got the picture of this, the flyer here. And if you just hold down the QR code, a little box pops up, then it says open in Safari for iPhone users.
Cool.
And you open it right up.
Yep.
So there we go. Wow.
Learn something new.
Thank you, Nicole. Thanks to your
Well, thanks to my son.
All right. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry, Katie, we were working on it today and she had an emergency. So
No worries.
I wanted it done, but it's not. So we will have it done as soon as she gets back to us.
Okay. Yeah, no rush. We can just, when it's ready, we can just send it.
Okay. And then Bradley's the liaison with Mason over at the fixed sites, and he'll get this all situated with him, and they'll get it printed and presented there, and we can start tracking and then see what this information is going to bring us. I feel like it's just going to be a kind of a, just a project in process, and just kind of see what we can. It's going to be a great tool, just not sure what path it's going to take us on,
Cool.
All right. Well, if anybody has any questions on this, I think that's all we got.
Awesome. Well, thank you. That all looks really good. I'm really excited.
Any questions? Next thing we wanted to do was some updates. And I think Carrie, you had some discussion since our last meeting that you wanted to share.
Yeah, so we I met with some other folks, and I met with the Niagara Pride. And Niagara Pride is having a big health fair in May that they do every year as kind of like a lead up to Pride Month. So they want to we're in the initial steps of planning a blood drive at that health fair. It's also like a 5K, so unfortunately the runners won't be able to donate, but there's a lot of other attendees, and I'm hoping we can even like have the blood link there so that folks who are, running that day or participating in the 5K who wouldn't be able to donate, they can sign up for another appointment. So, that's still in the process of kind of figuring out exactly where it's going to be on campus and getting the details ironed out, but that's definitely, it's like in the pipe, it's moving. So, I'm really excited about that. And they also wanted to do a hands-only CPR class and a disaster preparedness class. The Niagara Pride has a lot of different groups, like subgroups, and one of them is they do like a meeting for seniors once a month. So they wanted to do those. They wanted to have those classes at one of their like meetups for seniors. So I don't know the exact status of that. I know they were planning it for sometime in spring, so I'll check in, but I was really, really happy that they were such a positive connection and that they were really enthusiastic about kind of the various services that we offer. So I'm hoping that we can like table at the health fair and like some of their other events too, for Pride Month. But yeah, that's pretty much the major update on my end.
So I do have an update too for Lynn and everyone else that the Southern Finger Lakes Pride Festival has already sent out their applications. So we've applied. We're a vetted vendor now. So we got early applications. So we have submitted our application to participate at that event. It's in Corning, so we can get people had a lot of questions about that. So now we'll have time to engage with the group in Corning, and it's a really fun event. I went last year and they have a show and everything. So it is June 12 and 13, I think. So there's time to pencil it in your calendars if you want to go to Corning. But where our application is submitted, and it will most likely be approved since we're already a vetted vendor.
Okay, that's awesome. And I think I'd kind of lost track of this, but I think it is definitely time to start planning for Pride Month's events. Because I know, Lynn, that you had mentioned something on your end too, that you were already.
Palooza.
Yeah,
Pride Palooza.
So I think it's time. Thankfully we have more time than we did last year. Last year it was kind of last minute. So we can either later this month or like early next month, anybody who wants to help us participate in any Pride events. If you weren't like on our little planning group last year, just reach out and let us know and we'd be happy to include you. It's not like high commitment. It's just seeing what events are coming up, putting a little calendar together, and then kind of working on which ones we actually want to go to and choosing like what kind of like goodies we want to hand out and stuff like that. So it's not anything like huge commitment wise, but we always appreciate people if you have connections or if you've been to Pride events that you really liked, like bringing that knowledge to make sure that we can get involved. That would be really helpful.
What? Yeah, I have, yeah, I sent out, probably, I don't know, 8 to 10, the templates that we have, the services that the Red Cross can offer, to the various organizations. Unfortunately, I haven't heard from anybody. I'm gonna follow up, and I did email, Ken yesterday. Yeah, I copied you on it, Carrie, so, but I haven't heard back, but I am gonna be following up with these organizations and hopefully. The other thing, we have lots of other Pride events in Southern Tier. And they're all on our event calendar. They're all priorities to attend. So hopefully we can get the volunteers to do that. And, but because we know a little more in advance this year, maybe it'll be a little easier.
Yeah.
But Pride Palooza is a go. That's already, Zachariah told me that last week, actually.
Carrie, I just wanted to ask too, have you checked with National? They will send us banners and lawn signs, things like that to put in our booth. And we just kind of then pass it around to whoever's going to go to a different meeting, so, or a different festival. So have you done that, or do you want one of us to do it, or?
It depends. I guess it depends what you're referring to, because we have a Pride banner. I don't know if I have it or if Nicole has it, but we have like a parade banner that we got made last year. And then we also have like tablecloths with the like Western New York Pride Resource Group on it. So if there's additional banners, I don't know if that's something that they can send and that we can use, or if we would need to use, like, if there would be grant money again from National to purchase it. So are
No,
there
it's-
additional banners
it's-
that you're thinking of?
No, it's they send them to different areas, and so if we can get them, we just pass them around to like if we're going to Pride Palooza, and I don't remember the date now, say it's June 6th or whatever, and we're finished with it, so Nicola's having one up in Corning and we'll pass it to her. But they don't charge us for them. They just let us use them, and then we have to send them back.
Well, what kind of banner is it? Because we already have
There's-
some that we already
there-
got made.
there are a couple
There's
of
a couple of
different
different
ones.
kinds.
There's
Let me find out some information about it, and then I'll send it to you, and you can
Yeah.
tell me what you think.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I mean, I don't see why not. If it's something that they're used to sending out and that we can kind of pass around, I don't see why that would be an issue. I mean, it would be great. I think last year, Nicole, I know you had some of the like tall banner, I think, right, at your booth. Like
Yeah, we have
some in Buffalo locally.
we
So I
had
think,
some they're like generic.
yeah.
We have some of those roll up banners that are that the events like the oh my gosh, I can't speak. Like the fundraising group and the volunteer services group already uses for tabling. So, and they just have like, one is like services for the armed forces, one is just a Red Cross logo, one is on blood
Says-
donation.
Yeah, this
So we-
is an LGBTQ banner.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely
Let me
ask.
check on it, and I'll send it out to you guys.
Okay. Yeah, because I also wanted to touch base with Jerry to see like what the grant situation would be this year, because we really used that last year to get a lot of like stuff to hand out and like banners and things like that. But I'm assuming that they're aware that this is already kind of starting to be the time. So, but yeah, I was just going to reach out to them and see what the situation was there.
Okay.
So I can easily ask about that too. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay.
While you're talking to Lynn.
Yeah, she's on her computer, I'm on mine, but we're sitting right next to each other so we can hear and see.
Oh.
But we've got one turned off completely so we don't have the big echo, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's not on the meeting. I'm just listening.
But yeah, she's looking it up, and it may be a while, but she'll forward information to you and Nicole, so you'll be able to, pursue it further if you want to.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Shall we dive into some background on PrEP? Oh, gotta get my. All right, so based on the conversations we've had, and we had some ideas to put together like a fact sheet for PrEP. So I'm a scientific nerd to the core. So I went out and found as much scientific information as I could about PrEP and put together like just some really basic information so that we can be somewhat prepared to be able to have conversations when it comes up when we're at events or drives or anything like that. And I don't know why this one isn't here. Okay, so we're going to go through some background on antiviral therapy in general, some evaluation of transmission risk, and that's supposed to say, and then focus on PrEP specifically, and then some of we'll go through the actual blood donor requirements. So the antiretroviral therapy for HIV is considered a major medical breakthrough. I mean, it's huge. And it's really been able to allow people who've been infected to live with very, very low undetectable viral loads. And so this means that they don't transmit HIV through sexual contact. So this is the concept of undetectable equals untransmittable. So that's really exciting, but it does create some confusion for the blood donor process, because that's true for sexual contact, but it's not true for blood donation. So that does create sometimes some confusion. So the antiretroviral therapy that people take once they're infected is specifically for suppressing the viral load once it's already there. The antiretroviral therapy that people take to prevent infection is what we call PrEP, pre-exposure prophylactic. It's the same, it does the same type of thing, but it's specifically designed to stop viral replication from the start so that infection doesn't take hold. These drugs are incredibly effective. They're over 99% effective with preventing infection from sexual contact. And there's oral pills, and then there's injections. And a lot of the breakthrough, the reason it's not 100% effective is, well, it's hard to ever say that anyways, but with the oral medications, like compliance, like some of us forget to take our pill one day or something like that, that can reduce the efficacy. But the injection ones are really, really high, like greater than 99% effective. They're also pretty highly effective for preventing infection due to injection drug use. So these drugs are really great, but there's still differences in the way that the risk is evaluated for sexual transmission versus blood transfusion. So right now we have the temporary blood donor deferrals for people receiving PrEP drugs. So why is that different? That's because the standard test, the standard HIV test in bloods is the nucleic acid testing. And what this does is it detects the RNA after the virus begins replicating. So if somebody's not on any antiretroviral drugs, usually that's detectable in 7 to 10 days. And that's the standard. However, because PrEP prevents that viral replication from happening, it changes the whole dynamic. So in the rare chance that there could be a breakthrough infection, the normal replication pattern is disrupted, which means that that same process is not gonna, the antibodies, or I'm sorry, the RNA virus through the nucleic acid testing most likely won't be detected. And then there's later antibody testing that can be done, and the antibody response is going to be different. So this is the major reason why donors on PrEP can't donate blood yet. There's also an additional risk is sometimes the virus will live in a cell and it's not replicating, it's just kind of dormant. And if that cell can end up in blood. So oftentimes these cells they're not transmitted through sexual contact, but they could be transmitted through a large blood transfusion. And these potentially could turn into a replicating virus once they're transfused in somebody who's not on an antiretroviral drug. So these are the major reasons right now why people can be on PrEP and be testing negative all along, but still need to defer until they're no longer on PrEP and back to a normal status. So here, there's 4 drugs approved by the FDA. These are the oral drugs, Truvada and Descovy. Truvada was the first one approved in 2012, and it's approved for anybody who's at risk of HIV infection. Descovy was approved in 2019, and it's still only approved for, it's not approved for vaginal exposure. So they're still researching making sure that it's effective. So it's just not approved yet because they don't have enough data. For these, they do regular HIV testing every 3 months, and there's a deferral of 3 months since the last dose for these medications. Then there's also 2 injectable drugs. There's Apretude and Giztago. I don't know if I'm saying these right, but these were approved more recently. One is an injection every 2 months, and you can start with an oral dose to get the medication built up, and a negative test is required before each injection. The other one is every 6 months. It does require an oral dose in the beginning because it takes some time to get to the therapeutic levels. And same thing, negative HIV test required at each injection. And these are both approved for everyone. So who are good candidates for PrEP? Any sexually active adults and adolescents who weigh more than 77 pounds. And so this is important to note because this could include high schoolers. This could include anybody who's eligible to donate blood as long as they weigh more than 77 pounds, could be a candidate for PrEP. And it's typically prescribed to those who have an HIV positive partner who is on antiretroviral therapy but want to have that extra protection with both of them being on drugs. It could be someone who has partner or partners with unknown status. It could be someone who's tested positive for a bacterial STI. It's recommended because bacterial STIs can increase susceptibility to HIV infection. It's recommended for people who inject drugs from non-medical sources. And this is like extremely rare, but sometimes people might have a unique or substantial occupational risk. And that's usually treated with post-exposure, but there are some people that work directly with the virus that might want to have that extra protection. So sometimes the question comes up like, is this permanent? And there's ongoing research to determine if eventually people taking PrEP can be blood donors. So this is looking at medication specific screening models. So if we know how PrEP is impacting the virus, we can look at how we could screen differently for people that are taking PrEP. So there's research into that. There's also research into treating the blood itself with pathogen reduction technologies, or at least treating different components of the blood. And what that does is you treat the blood after donation, and it like denatures and it deactivates any sort of pathogens that might be in the blood. There's also a lot of long-term surveillance data, just looking at the actual risk and what's happening. And then there's a case examples from other countries, and I want to give the case example of Australia because they have started allowing people on PrEP to donate plasma. And so what they determined was that it was safe for plasma only, but there's multiple additional safety layers that whole blood and red cell transfusions don't have. So this decision was based on risk modeling, manufacturing, and epidemiological data. One of the differences with Australia than here is that most of their plasma is used to manufacture fractions, so like blood fractions. It's not directly transfused into patients, and we do have some patients who are directly infused with plasma. But with these blood fractions, there's just a very small risk of anything getting in them. They can also go through that pathogen reduction processing. So the US, Canada, and parts of Europe have been really paying attention to what's happening in Australia to see if there's an opportunity here to maybe start with allowing plasma donation opportunities for people on PrEP, because it provides kind of a safer place to start in terms of allowing more people to be able to donate. So this was exciting to learn about, I think. So in here, I just put together, I don't think I'm going to go through it, but I put together a chart that just shows exactly what the FDA requirements are and exactly what the Red Cross requirements are. This way, you guys will have this presentation. We can also make it a PDF. Just this way, you have the information about exactly what the requirements are. So you can see here that the PrEP is mentioned right here, 3 months for medication by mouth. So that's, they specifically call out the approved drugs. We specifically call out the approved drugs. So for 2 years for injection, we have that here. And so the undetectable does not apply to transfusion transmission. So this is all the stuff we went over. So this will be here if you want it. It has all of the deferral, exactly what the FDA says, exactly what the Red Cross says. And that's it. Questions or comments? I think one of the things we could do is take some of this, and even if it's not a Red Cross branded handout, have just like a short fact sheet that anyone who's interested could know exactly what's going on, because there was a lot of things that I didn't know yet that I learned a lot through looking at this stuff. But any questions or comments?
You said that's incredible. You said you do have a fact sheet for all that?
I think I can turn this into one, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be cool. They just have at events just for quick references and,
Yeah.
Answers that questions that are those same questions are going to come up often. So I think that'd be awesome. Thank you.
This was really cool, Nicole. Thanks for doing it. I didn't know about the Australia and plasma stuff. Maybe I missed it, but do you know when they started doing that or how long it's been going on?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm trying to see right now if it's in my notes.
Just 'cause that was a really cool addition. Like I'd never heard of that, and I thought it was really awesome that they're kind of pushing that forward.
I didn't, yeah, that was a really exciting thing to learn when I was going through all this. Like, wow, somebody's already making strides, and everyone's kind of paying attention to it too, which was exciting to learn. It was July, so it's very recent.
Oh,
July
yeah,
of 2025.
okay.
So they have to meet, all the other requirements, but it removed the deferral, which they had the same, and they have the same deferral as we do for whole blood and all blood donors before July 14th. But now there's a plasma pathway to allow more people to donate.
That's really awesome. Thanks again for sharing it.
I like
Oh, you're
plasma
welcome.
pathway.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I will remember because of that.
I like it too because it shows that progress is being made and it's not just, and that it's scientific progress being made, that it's not just going to be stagnant like it was before. So that, I think when I saw that Australia, and of course it's Australia taking the lead, it was really cool.
Of course, it's Australia. One of my children lives in Australia, so.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for allowing me to share that. I did have my scientific nerdiness really enjoyed going into what's been done and what this was and how everything works. So this was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, thanks so much, Nicole. And I think just the general takeaway is also, even if you don't remember every single fact, you know what I mean? Just the general takeaways that you shared, I think are really helpful. So it's really good information and good to set like a baseline for all of us, for us, you know, non-science nerds who maybe don't know everything already.
Yeah.
Cool. Are there any other like questions or comments or thoughts, or Nicole, anything else you wanted to share?
I think just that I will try to put this into like a 1-page document that we can have as like a cheat sheet when we're out and about. Just has some of the things, the frequently asked questions, basically I'll put together.
If I could just chime in for a second, I don't discourage that in any way. I just want to make sure that anything like that, a frequently asked question with that type of information, should only be appearing like with us at conversational events. Like it should not be put out at blood drives, because it's obviously not like an official approved document. Anything like that would have to go through review and everything. So I just don't want these getting out to blood drives.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, that would be like a big regulatory problem.
Yeah, no. I think even Nicole, I think you just even mean just for like a table or a reference. Were you saying like,
yep.
Yeah, not even like put it out as a flyer for the public. It would be like
I was thinking like for us to be able to have as a,
which is totally fine. I just wanted to throw that out there, you know, from my experience. So thank you.
Trust me, Ellen. As soon as you said don't put that as a blood drive, I was like, no, please don't.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up. We can even, and I wasn't going to put any branding on it, and maybe these just put a disclaimer like for internal
reference. Yeah.
Reference only.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. And it would be a good resource to have. All right. Well, if anybody thinks of anything else or thinks of any questions, I mean, you can always just reach out to Nicole or I. But it seems like that's pretty much it for today. So thank you so much again, Nicole.
Yeah, my
I think
pleasure.
that's
Thank you.
really
That was
important
really,
information.
that was really
Very informative,
very
Nicole.
informative and very comprehensive. So
thanks.
yeah, that
I hope everyone feels some love this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. It is Love Weekend, isn't it?
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh,
Have
and
a
the
great
pride flag is back at Stonewall after its
Yes.
couple of days sabbatical.
Oh, it's back?
nonsense.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw
Yes.
Is
that.
it back?
Yes.
Oh, I really,
Yay.
hadn't,
I was so upset.
oh, I hadn't kept up with that. I just.
It's almost like it's a distraction, but I digress.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's a little good